If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs.
We're going to go to Siege of Orgrimmar to pick up the shoulders, ichor dripping shoulder pads. They go by other names. It's a priest tier from Mop and Mercis. I believe he's the first boss. Pop in, see if you get it. Try it again next week. Moving on to the chest. Now, you're going to have to be a tailor to pick this up. Robe of Power. I do believe there is a lookalike, though, in Molten Core. Not 100% sure. Vanilla level tailoring. Keep in mind, you got to be a tailor. It's bind on pickup. Moving on to the belt. And there's probably quite a few tailors out there that are priests. I mean, usually the cloth wearers are the ones who basically have professions in tailoring, but it's easier than ever to switch your professions. The back is the polymorphic Cloak of Absorption. I love this cloak. It's a really cool looking cloak. Hellfire Citadel Mythic. Cormrock is the boss. 8% on the drop rate. A worthy get. Moving on, we have a Lady Void Elf showing linen boots, vanilla level tailoring. Check your local tailor. Check your local auction house for those kind of brownish. It's a new word. I always come up with new words. The hands are the Earth Ripper gloves from Siege of Orgrimmar, also from Immersis. 22% on the drop rate for the gloves from regular version. Hey, look at that, a Vulpira. I love Vulpira. The headpiece, Pious Cowl, Hellfire Citadel Heroic. Cormrock is the boss, 5% on the drop rate for the cowl, and the weapon is crafted from Inscription. Now, there's various versions of this. Actually, I'm sorry, it's from Jewel Crafting, or you could just buy it on the auction house. Probably the best way to go. Should be cheap. A little bit of Cata, a little bit of Legion, and it kind of works. Shoulders, the spalders of the High Priest. Netherlight Temple, that's 500 gold from the vendor. This part of the tier set from Legion, your order hall tier set. Same with the shoulders and the belt, both the tier set. Ruthless Gladiator's Mooncloth Robe, Cata PvP vendor, 3 marks of honor to get the Cata level robe from PvP. Moving on, the belt, Court of the High Priest, Netherlight Temple. It's from the vendor there, 500 gold to pick that up, so that's pretty easy to pick up. Moving on, we're going to show you the boots next, which are straight from tailoring. That would be BC level tailoring, or you could just step up by it on the auction house. Netherweave boots, so those should be pretty cheap on the auction house. Moving along, the hands are the gloves of the High Priest, also part of the same Legion tier set as the shoulders, the gloves, and the belt, all from that same tier set. Moving on, the back, bright cloth cloak, vanilla level tailoring for that beautiful looking yellow cloak, which you could also buy on the auction house. And we are going to show you a Blood Elf dude with the head, Ruthless Gladiator's Mooncloth Helm, Cata PvP vendor, 3 marks of honor, which is basically the same place you go to get the chest piece. And moving on to show you the weapon, straight out of Uldir, Fetid Devourer, 5% on the drop rate to pick up the staff. Kicking off with the shoulders, if you like wearing paper towel rolls that are kind of decorative on your shoulders. Terrace of the Endless Spring LFR. Actually, this particular shoulder piece really works with this robe, and I've always loved this robe for priests just because it has sentimental value. Back in Wrath, that was the one piece, one of the first pieces I got in PvP, and I've always liked it and never could really mix match it with anything. And meanwhile, the option was right under my nose with those shoulders. Works great with this set. Terrace of the Endless Spring LFR is the place, like she is the boss, to get the belt. Sticking with the Worgen, which you really can't see the feet, but Mistgate boots, Eastern Plaguelands, various mobs, buy it on the auction house, probably the best way to go. Moving on, we have a Void Elf lady showing the feet herbalists. No, that's wrong. I made a mistake. I made a boo-boo. Those are the herbalist gloves. So those are easy, super easy to get. Those are the gloves. The back, Cloak of Certain Reprieve, Netherstorm, BC PvP vendor, 1 mark of honor to pick those up. Moving on, now I'm kind of lost. I'm like, did I really forget to put in the gloves or the boots? I'm not sure what those boots are, but they're brown. Any brown boots work with this. The offhand, Telestra's Journal, the Nexus, Graham Magnus Telestra, on the drop rate. The weapon, of course, Blackrock Foundry, 18% drop rate for the weapon.
Initially, I saw this set on a dude blocking a mailbox in Stormwind, and I just loved it. Frostwind Mantle drops from Isle Expeditions or Treasure Maps. Best bet, though, step up, buy it on the auction house. Now, the chest piece is the Tunic of Smoldering Ire, Neltharion's Lair. Dargrul is the boss. Kind of a fair drop rate. There's also a robe if you don't feel like farming the legs, so you could go that route as well. Antiquated Highborn Cinch, the Nighthold. As you can see, the boss, 16% on the drop rate to pick up the Cinch. Moving on, we're going to show you the legs, which are a drop out of a Legion dungeon. Dungeon's called the Vault of Wardens. Ashcolm is the boss. Kind of a low drop rate, but you know, it's a dungeon. You could do it over and over if you feel like it. And we have a Lady Undead showing you the Frostwind Gloves, Isle Expeditions, or Treasure Map, and it's buyable on the auction house. The headpiece is the Frostwind Cowl. Forget about the Burning Throne, that's a typo. Huge typo, I know. But the headpiece, the gloves, and the shoulders are all from the Isle Expeditions, as well as the feet, which means you could buy them on the auction house. We have a Zandalari Troll showing you the Dark Leather Cloak. Vanilla level leatherworking, or you could just step up, buy it on the auction house. And the offhand is your default artifact from the Priest Order Hall. And of course, the weapon is the default artifact for Priest out of your Order Hall from Legion. We're going to spin you over to Dragon Soul from Cataclysm. Firelands Heroic, Mantle of the Cleansing Flame, 26% on the drop rate. Major Domo is the boss. Moving on, we're going to spin you up to BFA, Uldir LFR, Robes of the Unraveler, Mithrix, the Unraveler, kind of a low drop rate from Uldir. Now we have a Lady Void Elf showing you the Belt of Surging Hysteria. The Burning Throne Mythic version, Varamathras is the boss. Love saying that, Varamathras is the boss. Kind of a low drop rate, decent, 8%, not so bad. The feet, Volatile Walkers, Uldir LFR version, Talik is the boss. So out of LFR, you're going to have to get the feet and the robe and the gloves, which we're going to show you on an undead dude. Uldir LFR Vectus is the boss, and kind of a low drop rate to pick up the gloves, but that's part of that cloth tier set out of LFR. Looks very priestly like Dispriest. It says Dispriest to me. Fetid Horrors, Tangled Cloak, Uldir LFR, Fetid Devourer, 10% on the drop rate for the cloak. And we have a Lady Troll, or Zandalari Troll, Hood of Cleansing Flame, part of the same tier set as the Shoulders, Cache of the Fire Lord, Firelands Heroic. And last and certainly not least, the weapon, Spring-Loaded Jaw Staff out of Hellfire Citadel. Dia Dark Whisperer is the boss. Kind of a low drop rate, but worth it. For priests who like the darkness, aka Shadow Priest, Mantle of Broken Spirits, Tomb of Sargeras Heroic, Atragon, 8% on the drop rate for the Shoulders. Now, we're going to spin the clock all the way back to Shadowfang Keep, Baron Ashbury, which actually is Cata. Shadowfang Keep is basically vanilla. It's a vanilla dungeon. But when it was revamped, obviously, this row was added, I believe, and it's Cata. That's why I say Cata. But you could say vanilla. Waistcord of Flowing Silk, Battle of Dazlahar, Opulence drops that kind of cool looking belt. I call it the shark belt, even though it's not a shark. Duskhaven Top Hat, Dazlahar Borealis, Havenswood Salvage, or the auction house, those doubloons you can buy. Save those. You can buy cool Xmog stuff. Vindicator, Soft Soul Slippers, Blood Mist Isle, I shoot magic into the darkness. How that works for Alliance. For Horde, you could go with the Laughing Skull boots. They're very, very similar. Firecaller's Hand Wraps, Battle of Dazlahar, Heroic. Some kind of Mara Gringfang boss, kind of a fair drop rate for the hands. You could also go with Disc if you want to go with that dark look, or Holy if you want to go with the dark look. Iron Scare War Gloves, it's a War Cloak. And the offhand Engine Stoker's Lantern, Blackrock Foundry Heroic, 16% drop rate. And a weapon, which I really think ties in nicely. It's a dagger, Terrence of the Endless Spring Heroic, as you can see, 15% drop rate. If you're still listening up and until now, I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll close out by saying what I always say: whatever it is by you, whether it is morning, afternoon, or night, make your day epic.